Oh my! What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Oh Christ! This is Tales of its time. Started with Monster Hunter World, loved it, and wanted that experience again. So I'm kind of like gonna go off that perspective and also try to like explain how this might be for a new player. And honestly, it's been so long. It's pretty much like being a new player again anyway. So like I just like I opened the world again like 6 months ago, and that crap was foreign as hell to me. I just didn't remember what was going on. So anyway, I'm just gonna be discussing how a new player might approach this and if it's good for them and my overall experience. So is this new player friendly? Kind of. The entire story is basically a tutorial, and it's probably the easiest game to get into the series. Just like most other games, you're a hunter going to a new area, some new monster like messes everything up, and you have to like discover what's going on with the ecosystem and why it's doing this, doing that, yeah. And then on the way you fight monsters for whatever reason the game tells you to, and that's it. There are a few things the game doesn't tell you. Like, for example, capturing monsters is available from the beginning of the game. You can do it at any time, but they don't even bother telling the character that, or person that, until you finish the main story, the credits roll and everything. And then they're like, "Oh, hey, capture monsters." It's weird, but okay. And there are a few things the game never does tell you. Is like mostly menu stuff, and but at the same time, that stuff they don't tell. Like they don't tell anybody. Like even experienced players and everything. I keep calling people characters. And, even experienced players won't know because like brand new menus, all like brand new UI, all this. So it's if you think you're kind of fucked, everyone's fucked. But yeah, there's like so much stuff to discover in the menu. Sometimes it's kind of crazy. And honestly, the UI and wow, it's not that great. Like most people will agree, it's just not that great. I don't know what they were thinking. Like a lot of stuff seemed overly complicated. Like sometimes you would go like 2 steps further into the menu. It feels like you didn't have to. Like you could have just pressed this button and gotten there. But then like you press this button, you're out of it, and it feels like it just wasn't well thought out, or maybe they had some other, maybe it's sort of grand plan that they never like fully executed. I'm not sure myself, but overall it could have just been way better. Like there's so many games with better menus than that. I just don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but okay. And I have personally heard from some of my friends who did play this for the first time, like the first Monster Hunter game, like it's very overwhelming, and some people that I know have the game that haven't restarted yet, same thing as well, and I kind of get that. But luckily, because like the way the game is structured, it does like go in a way where you don't get everything right away, so the game will slowly introduce things to you, and it's honestly the best way they can because there's like so many different options, especially like weapons and all that, like weapons, armor, all this nonsense. There's just so much, like so many options, and so many abilities to do this or that, and so they kind of just like slowly go wean you into things, but at the same time, like sometimes it's just you gotta just go balls deep in head, and I just go do that. I don't know, like I think that's what I did when I first played World. I just kind of went in, and it wasn't too hard for me, and I didn't even think about it this game, so I don't know. Just I feel like you can't if you want to. You just go inside and just see what works, and that's it. It's not like I won't say it's friendly. Like it's not user friendly in the beginning. That's like it's just generally not user friendly. But yeah, if you take time to figure out what's going on, you should be able to figure it out. It's just they don't like push you in the right direction. That's all. Okay, so gameplay. Well, it's a Monster Hunter game too. So first thing let's get out of the way. Weapons. You have 14 different weapons. Great sword, sword and shield, dual blades, long sword, hammer, hunting horn, lance, gun lance, switch axe, charge blade, insect glaive, bow, light bow gun, and heavy bow gun. Naturally, all of them work differently, not just with each other, but like a few changes have been made from the last few games, and even if you didn't know like weapon before, it could be completely different now. Like I can remember the exact differences with the bow. I think you had to make your own ammo and stuff too before, but now it's kind of built in. And there's like a few other weapons that are different. Like I remember some people were complaining about the insect glaive just being like not as floaty as before, so you have like less options. But at the same time, you still fly the fuck around with how you want. It's just that it's different. I'd say if you can't find anything that fits you, like you should be able to find something that fits you. There's 14 different weapons. And they're aggressive weapons. They're defensive weapons. They're like fast weapons. There's pretty much thing for every different play style. Every different play style has like three or four different options. And I personally stopped because there were too many options at some point. Like I was saying, like I have three or four. I have three weapons that I remember already learning. I maybe stop now before I have like five weapons that I'm okay at instead of a few that I'm a master at. Like I love spinning around like a Beyblade as like a Levi from Attack on Titan. I love that crap. And then I'm terrible one on one with a bow, but oh my god, put me in a group, I'm just like this god support player, and I love that. I love like just being in a crew and then just go get my bow and just fucking shit up. And when the beta came out, I remember I was really like, okay, I'm gonna be dual blades and bow, and then that insect glaive. I was like, ooh, it's calling me. Yeah, that insect glaive. Yeah, and then dual blades and insect glaive. Then the game came out. I was the same thing. I was dual blade insect glaive, but then of course there were times I was just dual blade because two at a time, or uh, dual blade insect glaive again, and then other times I was dual blade and bow. It just whatever works pretty much. But I pretty much circle around those three. Sometimes thinking about getting a fourth one. Like I know a lot of friends of mine are part of the Church of Bonk because they love hammers, and I might want to get that one day too. But who knows? For now, I feel like the three I'm maining now. Mostly is I can only kill so many monsters, man. The more like not only do you have to master these things, but like, the more weapons you start getting into, the more weapons you have to build, and then that means I'm killing like 18 times as many monsters as I would have played if I had played one weapon. It's like, yeah, I don't know about all that. Uh, but like either way, like they're like the main point I kind of extracted was there's some different play styles that you have. On top of the weapons, you have of course a mount, which is new here. You ride a mount everywhere, and then you attack off the mount. Oh yeah, if you have a bow or a bow gun, one of those three weapons, you just shoot off the mount. I love doing that sometimes too. And I was just a elite archer. I was like fucking Hawkeye for a second sometimes. Uh, or you could taunt with one of the many different shield classes. Could go in head first. Another thing, what I did with dual blades, I was just like I learned to dodge like hell sometimes because that's just the way you had to survive. Yeah. And I've seen so many different play styles because like all these different weapons, like sword and shield, like that's another style that's and you can go crazy sometimes from what I've seen. Then of course you have all these weapons that blow the fuck up, do all this other crazy nonsense. It's just and it's satisfying. Like you, if you find one that's just for you, it's like it's my shit, it's my baby. I love every second playing with you. Well, it's good to play with yourself, but sometimes you want two other people with you to have some more fun.
Hey, phrasing!
Now, Capcom really made it a little more complicated than it should be sometimes. Like you have a few different ways to play multiplayer. There is Link Party, which is when you and a few other people join a party together, and then as soon as somebody does a quest, the other ones get activated. They get alerted to that quest right away, and then they could choose not to answer the quest. They could just choose to keep doing whatever they're doing. The issue is sometimes I found like group parties were kind of annoying because I would like either like let's say I'm on quest like 20 and then my friends on quest 4 or 5 and then I send them an invite. They couldn't join. The other times it was showing like me as offline or someone else is offline, and or if they said, oh hey, she's offline, but I'm like, no, she's online right now, what are you talking about? Then they couldn't send anyone in. Then they sometimes everybody would have to shut the game off, or turn back on afterwards, and it was a big mess. And then sometimes it would say, okay, you can't join because they're too far advanced in the story. That's fine, I guess, because like if they're too far advanced, you can't join. That's kind of thing for multiplayer. Then other times it would give an error, not tell what the error meant. And I read sometimes it said that's also what the error meant, but other times it just it's like you have same error for the same like for like 4 different things, and so it kind of you had no idea what the problem was half the time. So I hope they fixed it, but like by now like everyone I play with they're outside the kiddie pool, so like once you got high rank, you kind of became less of a problem, and because we all passed through the prerequisites and all that, so we just play whenever we want. Now environment links, so it's next level up from Link Party because it means you invite people from Link Party to your environment. Basically, when you're in a Link Party, everybody can be in a different server. Doesn't really matter. Like I can be in server 1, Mike can be in server 5, another person can be server 22, another person can be in server 2000. But then as soon as we join a Link Party, and environmental link, we're on the same server. Like we see each other and interact with each other more. Like when you're in a Link Party by like. Second, you have more than 2 people. You can't see the others' palcos and everything. They just go away. But when you're in an environment, like, you see everything. Like everything that's in the server. You're in the server now. And I've seen one group just like they went out to the fucking wilderness, started killing shit, and then just fucking shit up as a giant environment. Like, and no quest just went around and started chopping shit up and just started killing things. And that is pretty fun. Now, one of the easiest ways to join multiplayer is lobbies, squad lobbies, friend lobbies, private lobbies, that kind of stuff. It's closest to drop in and drop out co-op as well. I use it the most often. Pretty much what you do is you just start a quest and then someone like whenever they go to the join quest page, someone post a quest, I'll join in like that, and like it's less pressure because like they're doing things on their time and everything and all that. And a lot of times we did coordinate this, like we would do a talk to each other saying, okay, so who wants to post a quest? Anyone post a quest, and we'll all join in, and that's kind of it. And then, or like I said, if you guys want to hunt this monster, I'm trying to get these materials and all that, and then we all join in that way. But still, like I said, it kind of felt like easy because we were doing this like at our own pace. So no one was really forcing anyone. It didn't feel like we were in the lobby to like start a quest with each other. We were just all doing our own things. And like if somebody had time, just join in. And of course, if you had a lobby with like let's say a squad lobby with like 30 people, it's just like whoever's there is there. And it's just cool that way. Like I said, it's really just it's you can always be solo if you want, but sometimes it's fun to not always play with yourself.
We're just done with phrasing, right? That's not a thing anymore.
So the game started with 29 monsters, 20 of which were new, and the other nine were either they were probably like mostly variations of old monsters. Like not for the most part, with exception like two or three, they were kind of different versions of what we've already seen before in other games. Then on top of the 29 monsters, we now have like a couple weeks, like 2 weeks ago now, they had the first major title update, and then that was a free monster. Then of course there's a monster coming in the future in a few months now. Then of course we have monsters with extra difficulties that popped up as well. They're still coming up, they're chugging along with a whole bunch of stuff. And then of those monsters we have so far, we have flying ones, poison based ones, ones that fart and belch at you, causing debuffs. Fast ones with claws, ones that just ram into you, like they do everything. So we there's a lot of different variety going on with all the monsters, and so it's they kind of like make sure they get a lot to work with. And Monster Hunter has a lot of crossovers, especially recently. Like the last few entries, they've had Devil May Cry, Witcher, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, Final Fantasy, and like I think Resident Evil 2 as well. It's not yeah, it was I think one Resident Evil. I can't remember. Maybe I'm messing my mind. I don't know. But and that was pretty much just a world. In Monster Hunter Rise, they had a couple of as well. So like like that's just the world we're in right now. So I'm expecting something like that come up soon here too. Not sure which ones. Who knows? Then of course Monster Hunter World and Rise both had like game-changing expansion passes. So and they were just huge with a whole bunch of stuff. Like sometimes like they added like new gameplay elements and everything. So that's probably gonna happen because this is one of Capcom's most successful games. In the first 4 days, I believe they shipped they sold like 8 million units. So unless Capcom hates money, we're getting another expansion. Maybe two, but at least one. But even like if you don't count that, like it's still a fully complete game. Like after you beat the story, you know, like unlock high rank, and high rank has all these different armors with extra abilities, and you change the colors and all that. And then of course the weapons change. Like the weapons just go crazy. Like the like basically once you get out of story, you're out of babe mode because high rank weapons as well are just insane too. And unlike the original they're like previous games and all that, this is like a pretty open world game with just like a bunch of different biomes you go to and everything. And they all connect with each other too, so that's another thing. But and because of that, you also have the ability to like change the environment, like you can make it like less hospitable, so that changes how monsters react as well. So like if they're less hospitable, they're more aggressive. They fight each other more often. So you get like quests with like two monsters pop up more often too. And then if it's like if you change to like plentiful and everything, there's more monsters showing up. Like it looks beautiful. Like I saw one area turn from like some just dried up like, place to a full on lake, and I was like, I didn't even know that was gonna happen. I basically did it because I was like, I felt like changing. Like see what like plentiful looked like, and it was already in a dark like almost lava filled place, and that turned to a I didn't expect a goddamn lake there. That was just shocking. So they have a lot of different changes there. Plus, and because this is a pretty much open world game now, you can see monsters fully reacting and like just treating themselves like they would in the wild. It's not about you. Like you see them interact with each other. You see them like at watering holes. Sometimes they fight each other depending on where they are, and sometimes they walk past each other. There's like I think they have seen them attack like some of the smaller monsters too, the ones that that don't really matter for you as well. And they're not just your victims; they're inhabitants. They live there. It's their world. Until you're sitting at a pop up camp, and one of them just stomps on you, breaking the camp, and while you're inside trying to do the menu stuff, and that's when you decide when they have to die. But anyway, yeah. So I did love most of the Wilds. I had like some problems with like the story, especially that like anyone who played the story, they can understand why someone would hate that kid Nata. It's particularly like there are two different times in the story where you're just like I want to stray with this kid so much. But anyway, the like story's nothing special, so it's like that's just prelude to it all. That so I don't really care about it too much. I don't like count too much against it. It's just there. And once you get it past all that, it's fine because like when you're doing that stuff, you're like under rank 4 or 5. Then soon you like in like a couple hours you go from that to like 40. It's just that's just the way it goes because once you like get out of low rank, you just explode. And once you get into the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Like, but at first, like sometimes it takes a little while, like getting into the flow of everything, like getting used to everything. But like once you do, like you're just in the loop. You understand the loop. You know the assignment. You know I kill monsters. You know I make armor. You know I make weapons. Or I gotta I gotta do whatever I can, and then or I'd say 100 crowns to it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's just there afterwards. This is one of those games where endgame is the main game, and they really thought that through. Honestly, like if you want, I'll suggest like even though I mentioned a few times expansion's probably coming, and I would recommend just getting the game. You get the game, you play the story, you play through all the high rank quests, everything, and you start building up your armor, like fucking Iron Man, have like wide array of weapons, and just by the time by the time you feel like I'm satisfied, you'll be able to like put the game down, and then also just have a rest until they announce an expansion, or if they announce by the time you start playing this game, like you have time to rest, and then just not get burnt out by the time that expansion comes, because that's gonna be a whole other world of shit. And I am gonna review that one, and that's why I'm doing this now, because this game run is too massive. I'm not gonna wait for something that first of all not confirmed yet. So I just wanted to get out here right away while I can. Yeah, get the game if you like action, if you like hunting down these monsters, like just getting in the thick of it, just fucking shit up. Yeah, it's not heavy story or anything like that, but it's fun. And sometimes you like just seeing how the fight slowly progresses. Sometimes seeing monsters just it was this big pillar of strength. Now it's limping around, just trying to escape or go to sleep and everything, recover all that. And you see he's like just going through all that. Like no matter how many times you do it, it's just a fun cycle. And it's one of those things where there's gameplay loop. It's gameplay loop, but that doesn't really make it less fun. So just have fun with it. There are two of them? Here we go. I would have done it if you weren't standing in my way. Which, now that I say that out loud again, it sounds like I'm a fucking tyrant, but okay. Oh, now they're ghosts. Cool, I made them ghosts. Sure.